Warning: the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome to Everything Yet Nothin. Here's a hillbilly in eyeshadow who's looking fabulous and talking about anything yet something. Get ready to chew on a blade of sweet grass and talk about a variety of LGBTQ topics to the lifestyle of a gay hillbilly. Watch out, folks. These hills don't just got eyes. They got themselves a vodcast. Now, here's T-Roy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Everything Yet Nothing. Well, tonight, guess what? We have the end of the saga that we have had and we've been doing for the last 3 weeks. And that is with Mr. Dakoda from Branson West, Missouri. He was in an incident some years ago whenever he was 15, just about 16. And we did before then when he was messed with Predator. And I'm not talking about an animal at that moment in time. I'm talking about a human. And then we went into whenever he was 15, he was working at a zoo. And during the zoo that he was working at, he loved the cats, the tigers, and all the other animals. He would go in and he would feed them and he would play with them and he would just be with them. Well, the animals, pretty much he raised them as a baby into adulthood. And they were almost like family. You know how you have your pets at home and your cat and your dog, and you get really close with them and everything. Well, he was pretty much the same way. He was like their daddy. Well, there was a time during work that he was there and he incidentally fell into a pond of water. The tiger at that moment in time wanted to save him. So during that time, the tiger went over and got him back by the back of the neck, and one of his teeth went into his neck and caused some issues health-wise, which has taken partial of his filling and use of his legs and arms and hands. So, but last time he wanted to let everybody know because, whenever something happens and it's like, oh my God, totally out there, the news reporters just love to blow it out of the water and turn it into something that is not totally true. But, oh my God, you want to read it, you want to listen to it, and you want to watch it because it's a crock of shit. Well, this is where the animals was not at fault. The animal was trying to help him, save his life, just like that animal would if it had a kitten or a cat or whatever it's called, little baby tiger. So it wasn't that tiger's fault. He definitely wants to put that out there because a lot of tigers get a bad rep because they stay crazy and everything. Well, sometimes it's not them going crazy, it just looks like they're going crazy because they are trying to help their loved one. I wouldn't say owner because he didn't own the cat, he just helped raise it and take care of it at the zoo. So tonight is going to be his ending of his story. He has had ups and downs, in and outs, and all that good stuff, just like everybody else that lives in this world. He is a fantabulous man. I am shocked and I am amazed at how he has prepared and raised up above the everything that he's ever been through. Of course, it's not like everybody else has been through it, but similar of issues. Well, he is absolutely wonderful. He is awesome. He's kick-ass. I love him to death. He's like, really good friends of ours and of a friend of ours. which is his girly. And so we are gonna talk to him and finish his story. And I'm totally stoked. Tonight will be life after the accident, and how he has survived, how he has rised above depression and um, suicide and a lot of stuff mentally that a lot of people would go through, um, and how he is moving on with his life and how he has lived and survived and kept his head up. Um, Stop it. My dog's trying to dig a hole in the chair. So, that is what we have going on tonight. Um, this week it's been kind of crappy out. It's getting colder. The leaves are falling. I gotta mow the yard and mulch them up. That's how I get rid of them. And so, uh, of course, gardens are going away. The flowers are dying and going away, and um, our boys are just getting crazier every day. Um, let's see. But other than that, everything is going good. We had a wedding for Halloween. I mentioned it a little bit last Thursday, and that was my aunt, our aunt, Kevin's aunt. And I got to wear my wedding club because it's like really bright and it really shined. Like, I'll see if I can find the picture and put it up here later to show you. But it was so much fun. Thank you, Aunt Angie, and everybody in Oklahoma. Mwah, love yous. And of course, Kevin isn't here because I got tired of him. I was like, you know what? You're done. And I kicked him out of the trailer, put him in the doghouse. He's in the back. That's what happens when you do something. Not really. He'll be in here in a second. We have a guest in the background, which is Jason. He is part of WLFE-DB.com radio. And he wants to mention what his show is about real quick.
Okay, yes, my name is Jason. I am the Bipolar DM. I have a show called the Bipolar DM Show, where we talk about Dungeons and Dragons, independent writing, and also mental illness. I live with bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, among other diagnoses. And so we talk about how a lot of times all three of those topics intersect. Using Dungeons and Dragons in therapy, the therapeutic value of writing and creative writing and stuff like that, especially now being National Novel Writing Month.
Yes.
It's very important to, put your story out there, and it's very therapeutic too. So,
yeah, and you never know, you might be helping somebody else out, and there are ways and numbers to call. So if anybody is messing with you that is not supposed to be messing with you, it doesn't matter how old you are. Pick up the phone, call somebody, or go to somebody, some adult, police officer, anybody. Just go to somebody, tell them what's going on, and then ask them for help. And they'll listen to you, and they'll be there for you. But don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Life is already too short. We make our life what we make our life. And you can rise above that, and you can survive that, and you can move on. Don't give up on yourself. If anything, reach out to a family member, reach out to a friend, just reach out. I have lost some loved ones to suicide. It was not easy for me to go through something like that and, be here today with a smile on my face. So
go to WLFE-DB.com.
Yes, WLFE-DB.com. They have what's called Safe Space. And we are not doctors, we're not therapists, we're not psychiatrists. We are just somebody there to listen to you and give you the right connections and help you reach out even further than reaching out to WLFE-DB.com.
Yeah. And there is resources on the website too.
Yes.
So if you click on the Safe Space button, which is very prominent, you will see it and will recognize it. You click on that, and they'll have things like To the Trevor Project, all kinds of great programs that are already
absolutely wonderful.
and specialize in people of any lifestyle background. So don't feel like nobody's going to understand, because you know what? No matter where a lot of us came from, I grew up in the military. I'm a Navy brat. I lived in Japan, graduated from high school over there, went straight into the Army after that. Totally different way than what T. Roy grew up. And I moved every 3 years of my life. It wasn't until I moved to Branson that I stayed in one spot long enough. Is that Odie?
Yeah, right back.
Yeah. But as I was saying, um, reach out. It doesn't matter where you come from or what your life is like. We're all human beings, and we all understand, what it's like to struggle. So we'll figure that one out.
I'm back.
He's back.
So, like I said, Kevin will be getting here in just a second. He had to go run and do an errand or something. I don't know. So, we are moving into Christmas and Thanksgiving this year. We are doing a little bit something different for Thanksgiving. We have said for the last 15 years, we wanted to just, go away and not have to deal with dishes or cooking turkey or 12 to 20 freaking pies, and that is tiring. Like, we've done that all night long. So this year we're going to go to a friends of ours, Taki, Tina, and Tony's in Arkansas, and we are going to have a blast. And they invited us. They're awesome, our family. Hi Tom, Nally, Chanel. Whoop whoop, what's up, girl? I love you too, Chanel. Jason. Chanel says. Tom says, hey, T-Roy and Jason. And hello, Tom Nally from Chanel. What? That is an individual, our sister friend. Right? Yeah, sister friend. Yeah. Yeah, she's part of the WLFB-DB.com radio TV podcast, along with Tom Nally. So you can find them on there. There is tons of shows on WLFB, so check it out. It's a variety show, variety channel website.
Yes, well, no, we have them tied up in
in
the back.
Yeah, like we're throwing darts at him. Woo, that was close. So no, he went to go get us something to drink, like Kool-Aid or whatever you want to call it. I mean, we got to keep this PG, whatever. So I got my hair did yesterday. Get it all caught up. And you got to check out that. So yes, I got my hair did, and I got my hair did at Fat Donnie's Barbershop by Zach, the hair guy. 1718 South U.S. Business, 65 Street, B, Branson, Missouri.
Sweet B.
Sweet B.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Sweet.
So anyway, yep. Get your hair did. They also do beards and all kinds of other stuff.
Are they a full-service barbershop?
Yes.
Old school?
Yes.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
They have their straight razor and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, it's real nice whenever you do the whole beard thing. What else? Anything else? So I will tell you more later after we speak with Dakoda some on his saga ending. So with no further ado, please welcome one heck of a man, Dakoda. What's up?
Thank you for the entrance.
You're welcome. Whoop whoop whoop
Yeah.
whoop whoop whoop. If
How
I
you
had
guys doing?
fireworks, I'd be all like pulling the strings.
Yeah, pyro show in the background.
Yeah, pyro show. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's been so long. It's been like a week, right?
Yeah. It's just been
That's
kind
a
of a
long time.
lazy week for me.
Yeah, I know, right?
I need to do some things, but
God, I wish I would be able to say that, but no. I've been on
yeah.
my phone a lot and all that good stuff. So, um,
Yeah, where
you
did we
probably
leave
more
off?
than likely you heard what I was saying, and so after the incident of you falling into the pond and the tiger saving your life, um,
Kind of my
was that
recovery and things after that,
yes,
like what I had to go through with that.
yes,
Um, yeah, I mean, so yeah, immediately after that, I was life flighted to like out of our parking lot to Cox in Springfield, um, the big hospital up there. They have a trauma center and stuff,
yes,
and it was like immediately they needed to get me into surgery, and um, the first steps were I had to have a trach. I have like a hole from where that was in my neck.
oh my
I
goodness,
wasn't breathing on my own, and then they went in and did a surgery to stabilize my neck. And the first month was, uh, it was not, I don't know, more of just keeping me alive, really.
right?
I was on a breathing machine good portion of the time. The first like 2 weeks, I was basically in an induced coma.
Oh wow,
Yeah, with drug induced coma to allow things to heal. And then I'm sure, yeah, it was very painful and everything.
oh
But
yeah,
yeah, I was out a lot of the time. I mean, I remember people coming in and talking and different things that they had to do breathing treatments on me and suction out my lungs and um, treating the wound that I had on my back from where the tigers had like pawed at me because one of their claws did go in my back. But again, it wasn't like they were like,
right.
it's just they have really
It
sharp
wasn't on
claws. Our bodies
purpose or
aren't meant
anything
for
like
that.
that. More
Yeah,
than likely, it was trying to wake you up
yeah,
or say, "Hey, what's come
and
on."
then that actually ended up a lot worse than it initially was because they really didn't roll me enough in the hospital. And like one thing with people in wheelchairs is like pressure sores being an issue. And
Yeah,
like I fortunately can like as far as like feeling like sore or like if I'm getting sore or something like that, I still have that ability on my body like to know when that's gonna happen. Like because later on in people's injuries, that's often like I've met a lot of people in rehab and stuff like that, and it's actually how Christopher Reeves died, the guy that
yes,
played Superman.
Yep.
It was actually eventually he died from he went septic, his blood
yeah,
body went septic from a pressure sore in his
mm,
on his butt. Yeah, but yeah, that like after it turned into a sore, it was like not until like I was in the hospital and rehab for 6.5 months, and
oh
it took
wow,
all that time and then 2 months afterwards to get that to finally close up. And like I said, it was really mainly because it ended up becoming a pressure sore. And
yeah,
then also where it was at, like your butt and your back are like the worst places because you're always somewhat on them, laying like, and eventually like when I was having, it was almost closed. Like I like said, okay, I'm just like, I'm not going to wear a shirt. I'm going to stay lean forward in my chair, sleep on my side. I did that for like a week and then I like finally closed up. But like, I mean, that's about the store is like, there's a lot on the in between time. So they
yeah,
did the first surgery on my neck in the hospital, like immediately once I got there, and that like stabilized my neck. But I couldn't move anything below my shoulders. I could just like
mm,
my head right to left, and I
oh my
was on
god,
the ventilator. I couldn't even like breathe on my own at that point in time. And after it was about a little over a month that I was there, they wanted to move me to Children's Hospital in St. Louis because mind you, I was still under 18 at the time, so I qualified to go to that hospital, and that's like one of the top hospitals in the
Yes.
country.
I've heard so much about
Barnes
that. Yeah.
Jewish, Children's, yeah, and so, but they wanted me to be able to be off the ventilator before then, and
Yeah.
that was like I remember the first night that they it was kind of a progress, like they would take me off of it for a little bit of a time through the day, and like
Yeah.
I had to literally, like, it's something that you just don't think about,
Yeah.
breathing throughout the day, like I had to literally like focus on like breathing, like, and then the first night I was off that was like terrifying, like I was afraid I
Oh,
would
I
fall asleep
bet.
and stop breathing.
Oh my God.
But they really wanted me off that before they transported me, because that's
Yeah.
another
And that
extra
makes sense.
layer,
Yeah.
yeah, extra layer of like difficulty to transport.
Yeah.
But it was actually on my birthday, September 12th, I turned 16, that they transported me out to St. Louis. And I got a really fast ambulance. I think we got there in like an hour and a half from Springfield.
Oh,
Like a
wow.
4 drive, yeah. They were doing like 90 all the way there.
I
But
bet.
they got me there to Children's. They got me kind of situated and everything. And like being out there, that kind of sucked because like all my friends and family were here. So I didn't really have, many people out there with me at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And then also because I think I mentioned before, like I went into state custody.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so after my accident, because of the thing with my parents, like I was placed in state custody, and that was another thing with people seeing me. They were really um, tight on that, on
Yeah.
who got to see me and whatnot. Uh, so that sucked. Like there were people that went out there with me that day that followed the ambulance, and like when I got there, they could only see me for a few minutes, and then they had to leave. It was, I don't know, it was really crappy.
Oh, wow. I bet. Yeah.
But once I got there, within the first week, they did a second surgery on me. The first one, they went through the front of my neck, which was there. It's actually real light, but there's a scar around where the tooth went into my jugular that I talked about.
Yes.
And then there's a long scar that's kind of right on top of that,
Mhm.
where they went in through the front to stabilize my neck, which that was kind of like weird to get to your spine, but I guess that's one of the things they do. And then when I
Yeah.
got to Children's, the typical thing that they do, usually someone who has the neck surgery, they have like a zipper scar, because that's what it looks like, a zipper on the back of your neck.
Mhm.
And so they went in through there and they did some more work, and I guess not. They added some metal plates and did some more stabilization. And after I got out of that surgery and was like awake and stuff, I was able to move my right hand just like barely right to left a little bit. That was the first
Oh,
time I
wow.
anything below my shoulders. And when I got out to Children's, they were like, after they did that surgery, they were like, within the next, I think it was the next day, they were like on top of, all right, you need to get moving and like
Right.
therapy with me and stuff. And that was rough. Like I remember the first time they had me sit up on the edge of the bed, like they used two people, one grabbed my legs and one like did my upper body, and they sat me up. And I remember immediately I'd been lying down for a month and a half at this point, like
Oh my
on
gosh.
ventilator. So that gives you like motion sickness. I went up
Mm.
and I immediately threw up, and then they laid me back down. But that was the first time I had sat up for a month and a half.
Oh,
And
wow.
then like they just progressively they did therapy with me every day. And I think I was there for about 2 more weeks, and then they moved me over next door to the actual rehab center, which is Tristle, the Rehab Institute of St. Louis.
Yeah.
But it's right in that little complex. They have Barnes Jewish Children's Hospital,
Yeah.
the Rehab Institute, and the like teaching school, which is right there. And another funny thing that I remember is before they moved me over there, the day before, they took me to like visit to see like where I was going and what I'd be doing and stuff. And like at this point, I was still like hurting a lot from the neck surgery. And
Mhm.
I just remember this being so funny because it was such like a small little thing. There was like, you know, like thresholds and doors, like the like into the rehab area, like when they were pushing me in this wheelchair to show me everything, like they
Mhm.
went over that threshold. And I remember like saying like, oh my gosh, I have to go over this every day, because just that little like jostling around like severely like hurt. But
Oh yeah.
I I progressed like at that point, like I was progressing a lot better and faster than I had that previous like month and a half. And they were really and I learned later that like when you are injured like that, that is one of the like getting you up and moving as soon as possible is one of the
Yeah.
best things for you.
Right.
But yeah, I went through rehab, and uh I was there, like I said, the whole hospital rehab stay was 6.5 months. The rehab itself was 3.5 months, I think. Um, and and then I did outpatient after that. But when I came out of rehab, I was doing like I could operate my wheelchair, my electric wheelchair by myself. Like I said, my right arm works well, but my left arm was damaged more, the vertebrae to it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't able to get like the dexterity and stuff back into like push a manual chair. So,
Right.
but I was able to operate the chair and um, like transfer it. Like I got you know a lot further when they initially like when my injury initially happened in Cox. They were saying like, you know, first I might die, and then like I probably won't breathe again on my own ever. And then like I mean I know they try not to like set your expectations to, because they don't want to like say yeah you'll be fine and then not happen. But it was, you know, not they're not very inspirational, we'll say that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I got to fairly, you know, a lot better than I was fairly quickly. I mean 6 months doesn't seem like quickly, but the damage that was done, like you would I don't
Yeah.
know.
Don't show that very much.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And uh like after that I was at the zoo at this time, cuz the I think I explained some of that before with like they
Yes.
placed me in custody with Breck.
Yeah.
And I got away from that, you know, he went in jail. And like after that I had some like goals of um like I knew I had some problems in my life with like my family situation. You know, that was kind of an issue. The Breck situation and dealing with that, and I kind of like got that behind me. But I didn't want this stuff to hinder me for the rest of my life. You know,
Right. Yeah.
if you don't deal with it, you know, in your own time, eventually it's gonna come up when you're not expecting it, and
Right.
who knows how you react to that. Some people it might bring you to severe depression where yeah you want to hurt yourself or
Yeah.
something. With
Yeah.
me it was like I remember having like I'd be like with the Breck thing, I'd be perfectly in my abuse, like I'd be perfectly fine, and then like out of nowhere like I'd have like a dream, and it wasn't that I was getting abused or anything, it was just like him being in my dream. And so that would
Yeah.
like come to light, and like, you know, just like knew I needed to deal with that.
Right.
And so like that was one of the things. And then obviously I was still dealing with like my health and getting, I don't know, anytime, any recovery, any gains that I could make. And then my family, figuring out that situation. Um, you know, because that, I mean, there have been a lot of thing, let alone them, you know, them going to jail and stuff before that. But
Yeah.
I hadn't really um, tried to amend anything with them because there was a lot of other things going on at the time. And then another big one was my younger sister, like having a younger sibling, like you know, feel some responsibility for them or whatnot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Definitely.
she was in state custody for a period of time, like when all that happened. Like she immediately went in state custody, and then my parents ended up getting her back. But I wanted her to know that because I hadn't been around her for a while, that I was like there for her and stuff too. So, those were kind of some of my main goals. And then later on too, like I knew, when I did the thing with like Breck and standing up for that, that was, as you guys were kind of mentioning before when you were on about, mental health and,
Yeah.
helping other people, like, I wanted to do it for myself because I knew, it was something that was going to affect me or think about or whatever. Like, but I also knew that it had happened to other people.
Mm.
And I felt kind of an obligation, like that if I could say something or do something like that would, potentially stop that, then, to whatever degree that I should do that. And like so that was part of the thing with him and closure for me and helping other people too. And in that same mindset, like I started getting interested in psychology and um, being able to use my like stories and things that have happened to me. I feel like there
Right.
are a lot of people that think like, yeah, like you don't know what I've been through, so like, or you haven't been through exactly what I've been through, so it's like you can't
Yeah.
know. But there are so many situations in life that I'd say they're the same but different. Like
Right.
be a completely different situation, but
Exactly.
at the same time, they have very similar properties about them, what they're
Exactly.
based
Yeah.
on, and stuff like that. And getting people to. But my point with that was being that I have been through a lot of different variables. So even if if there are those people that it's hard for them to relate if you haven't. I'm like, well, I've been through this and that and this and that, or
Yeah.
close to drug problems, not really had some of my own, or the accident thing or the abuse thing, like that I can try to make a connection with them on to help. And so that's something that I want to do in whatever way possible. One of my main goals is, like I said, I got interested in psychology, so I want to do school. Like I've been doing school. I kind of with COVID took like a break from that, more so because the school, the way that they were doing some of their stuff was a pain in the butt. I wasn't so much worried about getting sick because I'm pretty good about that, but but the yeah, like I want to pursue that and be able to help people that way. But anytime I
Oh
can do
yeah.
something like this to reach people, or just share my story of the crap that you go through, and
Oh
then
yeah.
pushing through that on the other side. And even when, like you guys were saying, when there are there's lots of crappy people in the world that won't be there for you, but there
Right.
are good people too
Yes.
that like sometimes you just have to reach out. And
Yeah.
and I know in like depression it can be hard to find those like first steps, but
Very
if
hard.
you can make that small step, a lot of times there are those people that are willing to dive in and really
Yeah.
help you through those processes and figure things out and whatnot.
Yeah.
um,
Exactly.
but that is like what I want to do. And I want to write too, like again, to like help people, like through my stories and what I've gone through and whatnot. I think that's inspirational type thing.
Yeah.
And then also there's just some, like I said, with the zoo, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that I feel like I could write, like, a 10 chapter like storybook of different like mini stories from the zoo.
Right. Oh yeah. I bet. I
That would
bet.
just be interesting to people. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm going right now. And then lately with like Casey, like I've been, since my accident, like I've had a few small like girlfriend situations, but
Uh,
it like it definitely makes it more difficult on a bunch of different levels.
oh yeah. I
I
bet.
mean, being in the rural area that we are, like I can see, like I thought about moving to the city, whether like St. Louis or Kansas City.
Right.
One, there's better hospitals for needs of mine, but two, there's a lot of more, you can, if you get the right place or whatever, you can go down the sidewalk to, different things that you want to do, whether it be
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a
food
lot
or
Yeah.
more
whether it
accessible.
be some sort of activity to do with other people. And in a rural
Yeah.
area, finding those, resources and whatnot. Like there's some things around here, like they have like the Oats bus and some
Yeah.
things to help you get places. But that's another thing I found through, being disabled is like, the resources that are available or the difficulties in like if it wasn't for my the lawsuit that I had to go through and whatnot, like I'm very thankful for that because I also know what it's like not to have that. Because
Mhm.
the first I think 4 or 5 years of my accident it took to get that finalized. So like during that period of time, I was having to have like my buddies transfer me in and out of vehicles, and we had like a ramp thing that went in a trailer hitch on a truck to put my wheelchair in. And like handicap vehicles are very expensive,
Oh yeah.
or or if you find one that's not expensive, A, is it going to be reliable?
Right.
And
How much
like,
work you're gonna have to put in it,
yeah,
money.
and then B, they're just not very common. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I did at one point find out of Oklahoma a vehicle, and I think the guy thought something was really wrong with it. It was like a car salesman guy,
Mhm.
and like growing up, my dad and stuff worked on cars, and it turned out being something more simple. And so like, and I paid like $1,700 or something for that.
Yeah,
So like, it ended up,
Nothin.
yeah, and like that was a lot of money to scrape together at the time to figure that out.
Oh yeah.
It actually was one of those maybe gifts from beyond sort of situations because uh, Social Security accidentally overpaid me right around that time, and they later like came back and got that back in a way of taking
Right.
Oh,
$30
of
out of
course,
my
they always do.
weekly check, but at
Yeah.
the time it really helped me. I was able to
Heck
buy
yeah.
that van with that money, and then later there was a guy after I was able to get my settlement and then get a good like van that was going to last me a while. I was able to kind of like pass that forward with a guy that was around here. I put it up for sale at Walmart, and like I know how like helpful that was going to be to him,
Yeah.
and but yeah, like just things like that. There's a lot of things like that for resources wise, like yeah, it's difficult for people to, get out and about or have that social interaction. And
Right.
why I
Yeah.
started talking about this was to like meet people. That was one thing I want to do with school, was going to school also allowed me to meet people.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's
But
smart.
yeah, like one of the things was like I was saying about Casey is like I had basically been, alone for 10 plus years, and it was, great to be able to find and meet her. And like I said, there's been small things in between there, but um it takes a certain type of person to be
It
able to
does.
see the situation as a whole.
Yes.
And I think it is somewhat like maybe intimidating to someone, like to like I don't know, just not knowing, like maybe afraid to ask those questions.
Yeah.
What
Not
questions
knowing how
do
to
you
ask
have?
those questions,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you don't.
and
Yeah.
then it's just easier to avoid that altogether or something like
Right.
that. I'm not saying like people are shallow or whatnot. There are people that are shallow,
Oh yeah.
but
I
I'm
was
not
gonna
saying
say
it's just always
they're out
that
there.
case either.
Yeah.
You know, um, but yeah, I've been lucky to find her, and I'm happy to, yeah, like that's been, like I said, I've worked through those other things that like I knew I needed to work through. And after my mind was kind of not so preoccupied with those and things were slowing down, the fact of being alone comes,
Yeah.
that hits you, and
Oh
that
yeah. I
that
mean,
definitely, and
yeah.
especially when you are fighting so much for so long. I feel
Right.
like
Right.
for such an extended period of time, everything was like a fight.
Mhm.
Everything, I had to
Struggle.
go through. And I feel like most of that I had to do on my own. Like I
Right.
did have some good people along the way that, made things a bit easier and whatnot. But and I don't mean to like not try and diminish them at all, but overall in the like big picture of things, like I didn't have a whole lot of people that were super involved in, what was going on with me.
Mhm.
Some in the beginning, but that trailer tailed off, and then yeah, it just became like where I had to, I don't know, I can see a lot of people in this sort of situation where
Yeah.
they don't have those, they don't have those people helping them. And uh, I think like I do a good job of trying to ask questions and all that thing and be on top of what I need to for my own personal, needs and whatever.
That's awesome.
And like I've done a good job of that. And some people just don't know that they can ask this question or they can do this or,
Yeah, or they can
like,
help you in certain ways. Like,
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot of people that don't have no idea of exactly what comes with your insurance,
yeah, yeah,
and they don't put it out there.
yeah,
So if you're
exactly. Yeah.
watching, ask your insurance people exactly what they cover.
And yeah,
Or
and I
even
feel like
easier, ask
it's
your
not
doctor
just,
and
I
they can go
mean,
with your insurance
Yeah,
company.
insurance is a good example, but like everything along the lines with being, injured, like it just seems like it's all like, jumping through hoops to figure out how to
right,
make this work or that work. Like,
right.
there are resources with like school. Like, I started doing OTC down here, which is community college,
Hmm.
because I stopped going to school in seventh grade. I think I mentioned that, but I later got my GED, and like I figured like that was a good route to
Heck
not,
yeah.
yeah, like sometimes I feel like it's good. It's not, like I feel like some people look at some things as like if you're doing, like if I'm not going straight to university, like I'm lower than other people or something. No, like
Hmm.
sometimes that's just, to give yourself the best
Yeah,
chance, possibility and whatnot. Like
absolutely.
figure out what you need to know, what you do know, and step by step it through there, because there's also other things to figure out, like
Hmm.
yeah, what resources are available, what like accommodations schools have,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
what they should be offering you and they don't, so that you can
yeah.
make that. And
Hell, I'm 38 years old and I still don't even know what I want to do when I grow up. So
no,
I
yeah,
don't
I
even know what
mean,
to go to school for.
yeah, that's in that I had that dilemma too of what, like I had thought about school for a while, but what I wanted to do. And then, yeah, I did end up, kind of figuring out like, obviously I can't do a lot of like, before when I worked at the zoo, I did a lot of hands-on uh, concrete and welding and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
like I could still do some of that stuff, but not like in a efficient job application, like for like a home project or something I could, but so
right.
like what things, are options for me now, and what do I like? And I, know that like I want to help people if I can, and like, what individually like do I have, that like that maybe other people don't, that I can
Yeah,
apply to those things. And that's where like psychology came to mind. Like it really interests me, and I have all these different perspectives. And whether I figure like it's probably going to take me a while, just because I have things, doctors, stuff that gets in the way or whatever. Like, and I'm fine with that. Like I'm going to take it step by step, and at first it might be something, my kind of plan is to do like if it's like social worker type
hmm,
stuff, because that like getting a psychology degree is like
yeah.
doctorate. So like that's a lot of schooling, but I
Oh
I
yeah,
don't want to like burn myself out with it either, and I want to be able to use, you know, some of that like as soon as I could to be able to be, helping
yeah.
people where I can. Um,
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
that,
You don't want to have to wait all the years that you have to actually put into.
yeah, like just because like, yeah, I want to be using that to
Yeah, and
help people.
that's a good way to actually do and learn. A lot of people learn easier by hands-on or being right
Yeah,
there and going through it at the moment in time that you're actually learning about it in school and stuff like that. So,
yeah, like
right.
I mean that's why they do clinicals when you are doing like a doctor type situation, whether you're a doctor doing medicine type stuff or your psychology, like you end up usually going in and working under someone, talking with people and stuff. Uh, so that, yeah, is everything okay still? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
everything is
just pushed the wrong
fine.
button.
No, you're good. But yeah, so and like I have the opportunity, which I think kind of led me in that path too of like over the years I've gone back to rehab for a couple weeks, like a in-stay rehab situation, and where there are new people come in with an accident. And when actually I was in rehab the first time, there was a guy that came in for that same sort of situation, and like I kind of got to talk to him and became friends with him, and he had been injured for I think 15 years at the time at that point. And like so later on I got to kind of do the same thing. And there was another guy, actually, I remember that out in St. Louis, he got shot. And my injury is very weird. Like I said, typically with spinal cord injury, usually like there's incomplete injuries, but usually when they are incomplete, it is usually like from what I've seen, the majority is like those people end up getting majority, if not most, of their function back. And my incomplete injury was a little bit more severe, but
Hmm.
usually when it's that severe, usually it ends up being complete, where everything from that area down, wherever the injury was, you don't have use of or feeling of. And so like the fact that my right arm works and my left arm, like I can move, but I can't manipulate and stuff with my fingers, like to do functional things. Um, yeah, it's kind of a weird situation. And there was one time I was up in rehab where, yeah, this guy got, he was actually a younger gentleman that was in his early 20s, got shot up in St. Louis, and he had a very similar injury to mine, opposite arms. But over the years, like stuff that I had learned, and it was even interesting with like the therapist and stuff. They like they had to kind of figure out ways of doing stuff that they didn't know, like because yeah, my injury was odd. So like typically it's either working with like both arms and being able to manipulate the legs to move over to working on transfers, like say you're getting over to your bed
Hmm.
or shower or
Yeah.
something like that, those type of things. And I was able to use my knowledge that I learned by like either myself or with me and the therapist working together to try to figure that out, to show him how to do those things and whatnot, and like do the transferring and stuff with one arm. And like so that was cool for me. And um like yeah, so I'm really like I look forward to being able to do that. And then anytime I can do yeah something like this, where just being able to yeah tell my story, what's gone on, and maybe
Absolutely. I mean,
help someone get
it's been an
forward.
awesome story. Like, you're just amazing, and you will
I
be a
appreciate it.
returning guest. So you'll definitely be back on here to let your story be known some more. And yeah, we appreciate you coming on and actually sharing your story with us and everybody
Yeah.
else.
I'm grateful for the opportunity. And I like I said, I want to do the book thing.
Hmm.
That's been like long in my head. That's an interesting factor. Like if you don't have I haven't wanted to kind of go with like a publisher or something yet, because I wasn't quite sure. You know, I've not been a writer or anything like
Right,
that. I didn't
right.
like language arts so much in school, so I've had to like go back to that. And it was because like I didn't have a really interest in that or story to tell.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't good. Like, I've not really been artsy, and I think part of doing arts and crafts and things like that comes to storytelling too.
Yes.
I think it's easier, this being true stuff for me,
Hmm.
um, and it's just going back to language arts and English in school, and I've been doing that in school too, like taking English classes to figure out story formatting and stuff like that to do to figure out how I want to go about
Yeah.
doing that or writing it. And there's a lot to tell. You get down, I think I've done it here a few times, start on one thing and then I can kind of get down a rabbit hole with all the
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like trying to stick with the line. That's when you do like your outline of your story so you stay on point in the direction you're going. But that's been something that's interested me, and I want to keep pursuing. I want to
You
set.
should. You would be awesome. You're gonna be awesome.
Well,
Absolutely.
Jason, that was just on here before me, has 2 books. So if you
Yeah.
ever need any,
Yeah.
have any questions or whatever, just let us know.
yeah, that would be it. That would be
Hi,
great.
little bit. How you doing?
I love it.
I'd love to talk with someone that's went through that process for sure.
We also know a couple other people that have a couple books out. So
Actually, more than a couple. There's like
2 books seems to be the number.
2 book Dom, and then 2 book Teddy, and then 2 book Dom
Jason.
or Tom, and then 2 book Jason. Yeah,
And that's kind of funny. Like right now, that's what I like. That's what I kind of have in my head. Like I think I could write about more stuff, but like I think I want to do like I was saying like the mini story kind of book about the zoo.
Yeah.
I think that would get like a good entrance into
Absolutely.
writing this stuff out. And it's a little bit more simple than the overarching, bigger picture, like biography type, book, writing something like that. And figuring out again, like where you want to, like you would think with something like that, you want to start with like childhood to, present. But sometimes in the way I thought about it a lot, and I'm like, no, that's not really the right way to go with my story. There's kind of, and two, like keeping people interested. I've just thought of different ways of doing that. But I thought like it'd be a lot easier. I've actually wrote some of the like mini story type stuff, like wrote that out a little bit of like the wolves escaping from the zoo. I was there when that happened. I think I told you a little bit about my buddy with the bear, the incident that happened with him. And I don't know, there's just even, my accident with the tigers, my little shark accident when I was on that trip before my accident, when my parents, when I was talking about my parents getting that call about them being arrested, but I was on a shark biking trip where I cut my ankle open. Like I've got a bunch of little mini stories like that I think would be interesting to share and people would be interested in. So
absolutely,
that's my pursuits for the future. And then also, Casey, whatever, I love her and like I see a good future with her and tying that in with her goals and aspirations, me helping her and her helping me. Been really good about that so far. So
that's awesome.
I have positive hopes and aspirations for my future for sure.
Awesome. That is so awesome. And yeah, you're lucky because she's one heck of a girl.
I know, I appreciate her a lot.
Love you, Casey.
Well, it is commercial time.
So we are going to cut to commercial. And when we come back, we will finish up. And again, it just flew by. Like, yeah, it's already almost been time to.
I know. I was wondering how much time was left. I figured, yeah, probably.
But we shall return right after these messages.
WLFE Digital Broadcast Network is on TV. You can watch all of our shows on WLFE-DB.com. Check out our channels. Paranormal View for all of your paranormal type shows. LGBTQ Friends for all of our LGBTQ shows. Variety Unlimited for all other shows. It runs 24/7 right on WLFE-DV.com. You'll even catch the lives, all in one place. Never miss an episode, past or future. WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows. Search for your favorite shows like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Everythin Yet Nothin, Paratalk Radio, Step into the Paranormal, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and more. Now you won't miss an episode. Remember, follow Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe and follow your favorite WLFE-DB radio shows. You can find our shows where you listen to your favorite podcasts, like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and more. WLFE-DB Radio is looking for podcasts to join our family. You don't have to fit any strict genre. We're a plethora of shows. If you're looking to jump on a growing network, then contact us at WLFEDBradio@gmail.com.
Wow, Amazon Music just got a whole lot better. Your favorite shows from WLFE-DB Radio can now be found there. Yes, we are on Amazon Music, found under podcasts. Download the app, find podcasts, and search all of your favorite shows. Shows like Where's My Sage, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothin, Skeptical Help Bar, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and much more. Now you don't have to miss an episode ever. Amazon Music is WLFE-DB Radiofied.
More from WLFE-DB Radio Network after this.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area at 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Oh, yeah. Life just got sweeter now that WLFE-DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com. You're listening to WLFE-DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
And welcome back to
Yeah.
Everything Yet Nothing. And let's welcome Dakoda back. We are speaking with Mr. Dakoda. And it's been really awesome having you on the show. Like, you are absolutely our
appreciate it.
first saga. I like saying saga.
He does.
And
The trilogy.
so we're going to definitely have more of these because I have so enjoyed just speaking with you and learning about, I was around whenever all your stuff happened at the zoo, and I was actually working here in Branson, living in Crane, and I drove by Branson West, that zoo, all the time. I actually went there a few times, and I
He took
remember
me there.
I remember you working there. Whenever I first seen your pictures of you younger, I remember seeing you, and I want to say that you brought a wolf out for everybody to pet.
Possibly,
At
yeah.
one point in
I've
time.
done that before. There was, a couple wolves at various different times that usually when they were like mid-sized or so, not like, I don't know. There was just some different times that we had different animals that were either out available to pet, or babies. We always did the like snake alligator thing, the shark and ray feeding, and I worked in all those areas. It just depended on the day that someone was there necessarily that where I was maybe at, or sometimes I was not working directly in the zoo with people. We were doing work around the zoo, and I might have
Yeah.
been doing that. So it just kind of depended. But yeah, very much so. Like in that time, like I was out there.
And didn't you have like, was it an alligator or a crocodile or something?
We had both. Yeah, we
As
had
you like,
both.
was it as you walked in? I want to say.
I was around it once.
I don't remember. It's been so long ago. But yeah, I remember. I want to say as you walked in, there was like on the left side.
It depends. Like, see, it's hard to say because there's at different times we had like we ran the zoo different ways.
Yeah.
At like we had switched which way you went in, and then like sometimes the exhibits went around like where the exhibits had changed. But yeah, like in one way you went through, there was an area that we had like alligators right in front. We had if it was warm weather enough, we had alligators that were outside in like a
Yes.
big pond.
Yes. That's what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
we had some really big ones that were like almost 20 feet long that were outside, and then we had some smaller alligators that were like 6 and 7 feet long, that were in a different like area, and then we had some little like baby ones that were only like a foot long that maybe not even that those are the ones I was talking about brought out to like I'd hold their mouth and their tail and let people like touch them and stuff. Same thing with a few various snakes that we had. We had some king snakes and a ball python, and then
Yeah, I remember them.
like a bigger python. If there was like summer and there was a
Mhm.
crap load of people going through, we would like
And a
bring that
bear?
out. What?
A bear? Did you have a bear?
We had a bear. Yeah, that wasn't something we brought out though. They were in the cave.
And I remember the black,
Babe, can you grab my power cord?
what was it?
Leopard.
Leopard.
The leopard? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my God.
her name was
Black,
Isabel.
and then there was a other color, like
Yeah, like a regular colored leopard.
regular color.
Magic.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I loved the black one. Both of them, all of them were beautiful, but that black one just
Yeah,
really
Isabel was really beautiful because she had she was black, but really like when the sun came out, she you can see her
beautiful.
spots. She does have
Yes.
spots. She looks
Yeah,
like
it was like purple, real dark purple blue, and then the black
like
around
the
them.
spots. Yeah, like shine. Yeah.
Oh my God,
She was really cool.
beautiful.
I never went in with them, but there were some of the other guys that
Now
actually
the animals, because that zoo actually closed down, right?
Yeah, for a minute. So after my accident, still had the mammals for a while. And then there was a certain point when I think it was a combination of things, but yeah, a lot of the animals ended up going to Turpentine Creek in Arkansas.
Yes, and Turpentine Creek is beautiful. Beautiful. If you've never been to Eureka, you gotta go for sure. Definitely there. And you gotta go Turpentine Creek, which is on the outskirts, I don't know, 5-10 miles out.
Yeah,
And
something
it's
like that.
beautiful. Every bit of the money that you pay to get in goes back into actually the zoo and upgrading and building on, taking care of the animals.
I think they prefer
and they're
rescue
rescuing
facility.
sanctuary, so all
Yes.
all of their
Rescue
animals
sanctuary.
are spayed or neutered. They don't breed.
Right.
They're just there to take on,
live out the life, and have a good life too. Because I mean, whenever I was down there, I wished I would have uploaded it, but whenever I was down there, I was walking by the tiger, and the tiger, I was hey tiger, you're so beautiful or handsome today.
You talked about Zeus last week,
and it was like literally talking back, like it actually knew what I was saying. Like it was saying the same thing to me, or like a thank you, or you
Yeah,
know,
it
good day
depends
to
on
you, or
what animal and what they kind of been through. Like their, I think their like personability and stuff. But generally, yeah, once they, even if they have been in a bad situation, once they get acclimated and whatnot, they become a lot more personable to the people and like know
yeah.
they're, know they're being more taken care of and fed and yeah, will come up. But like 2018, they do like adoption and stuff of
Huh?
where you pay like a certain amount, and this is Athena from there.
Awesome. I remember her.
But yeah, like they do this where like for
Beautiful.
that year I
Uh-huh.
adopted her. I don't remember how much it was, but like helps them feed them and take care of them and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and they
But
also hands on to where if you want to put in your time and
They
don't
have volunteers.
volunteers come
yeah,
in, they have groups and they build all kinds of stuff, or they'll help them feed or take care of the
We've thought
animal.
about
And
going in and volunteering
we're
before.
actually going to do it, but it's like
yeah, I know like
it's fun.
they got it when they take in the animals like I mean they have up closer to like the gift shop area, they have a lot of they're not like small, but they're smaller cages, and that's in the lieu of getting bigger areas for them in the back. And I know last time I was there, they had gotten some donations to where they were expanding and being able
Yeah.
to, and that's kind of the basis on whether they can take in more animals or whatnot. But yeah, Athena, she's the one that actually like the picture behind our photo.
Oh, the incident.
Yeah, she's the one that actually grabbed me. She was like the more motherly one, like I said.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the one that was in the water with me in the picture behind here was Abigail. She was like the more playful one. And then there was the boy, and he was uh he was friendly. He was just kind of like do my thing sort of. But
Right, right.
they all have their
Like
own
a typical
personality.
cat.
Yeah, they all have their own little interesting personalities, and that
Oh
was
my god, don't they ever?
yeah. And some people I think don't realize that. Like once you're spend enough time around them, that's when you realize those things. You get to notice that, about them, about how they act or respond to things. But yeah, like I said, going back to like the differences and whatnot too between some place like Turpentine and our place. Like our place when I worked there, it's was for profit and privately owned, and then not
Mm,
very well ran. The people that worked there,
right.
like I said, like I think they all had good hearts and like really cared about the animals and whatnot. And that was kind of used, you know to the owner's advantage to
Yeah.
either pay people or get people to work for free to
Hmm.
not in a sanctuary type capacity, but
You're right. Right.
actually doing what to but those people, yeah, really did care about wanting to take care of them,
Right.
feed them. A lot of people in the winter actually did, yeah, like have some other job and coming in, and there wasn't very many on staff paid people in the winter. It was
Oh
very,
wow.
yeah, minimized. Yeah. Like after the haunted house, because we had that at the same time. After that, after the haunted house
Yeah,
season,
I remember
yeah,
we went there.
yeah, they cut back on all the employees to just the kind of bare minimum, like when I was there.
Which is
So
typical Branson.
Oh yeah, like it slows
yeah,
down
yeah.
so much in the winter. I love it. I'm like, yay.
But yeah, and I think maybe you guys seen I have the tattoo I have with the tiger holding the cub.
Yeah.
Did I mention that? Yeah, yeah, I did see that. I know I don't really have a good way to show it right now, but for the people, watching and listening, yeah, like later I had a friend that was getting a tattoo in Branson, and it was oh crap, I can't think of the name of the shop now. But they have a shop in Springfield too, and they had a show going on at the time, and I
Inky.
got to kind of
Ink.
yes, Ink Ink, yes, Ink Ink,
We
and
watched the show.
yeah, I got to kind of tell what went on there, whatever. Not in as good as detail as here at all, because it was crammed in with a bunch of other stuff. But yeah. Anyways, more of the point was, yeah, I got that tattoo. Like I had thought about getting a tattoo for a while, and I thought that was like the perfect thing. A tiger holding a cub, because I feel, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like situation with me and Athena and Abigail, like they were just they were just being tigers, but they weren't trying to hurt me or anything.
Yeah.
I think I would have been dead or brain dead if
Oh
they would
yeah,
have done
totally. I mean,
what they did.
they could
Yeah.
have. Yeah, it could have
Yeah,
been way worse.
yeah. I mean, just from the water alone, like
Right.
being underwater, but let alone, yeah,
Right.
it was if they were trying to harm me or eat me, could have
Right.
been a lot worse of a situation. Well,
Right.
again,
And you can usually tell whenever that is going on because of the whole everything changes within the cat, and you know, it's
and I
like
think I had mentioned
meantime.
before the the thing that happened not long before that was Siegfried and Roy. Yeah, the guy,
Yes.
yes, and he had a stroke on stage, is
Yeah.
apparently like what they said later. And it
Yeah.
was, and that tiger was just big enough where it basically could put its whole mouth around his neck and
Yeah.
never not touch, because it didn't do any damage to it. Like it may have nicked him or something like that, but his sustained problems afterwards was from a stroke, because that's what happened on stage. He had a stroke and
Yeah.
collapsed, and they got out in front of the press and kind of explained what happened, but that was like in front of a crowded theater of people too.
Hmm. Right.
But
Tired their cats after
but
that.
yeah, like they have an
Yeah.
instinct about those type of things, and
Yeah.
um, and being around, like I said, I was around them all the time from birth, so it wasn't like I
Yeah.
was just a
And that makes a
random
big
person.
difference. I mean,
Yeah,
it really does.
yeah, I would think, maybe think different things, but also just you look at the scenario, like how it played out and whatnot, like really thought about that, and the other possibilities, and yeah, like yeah, it definitely, yeah, the fact that I was around them the whole time, and
Yeah.
they clearly knew me, who I was and whatnot, and I knew them and how to act with them.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 And after a while, I'm sure, they got used to you, you got used to them, and just like having a house cat, kind of, to where,
Counts how they eat you.
yeah.
Well, how
Yeah,
did
just a couple of days before, I may have mentioned this too. Me and one of the other guys that worked there, Mike, were down in the furthest part of the cage with all three of them, because we had to fix a spot in the fence that they had chewed a hole through metal, being goofballs. But we went in there and like patched it up, and that just was a couple days before. But I was basically, yeah, on a daily basis, if not like every other day, going in with them. So yeah,
Yeah.
like but I definitely want to get down there to Turpentine and see them some more. I
Yes.
mean, they're
Oh,
getting
me
I
older.
too.
told
I
you, I
love it
told you
there.
last time we need to make a road trip. And
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, they're getting older, and I want to be able to see them more before. I mean, because
Yeah.
they're what, they were born in 2005, so they're
Mhm.
like 16 now. That's old
Oh,
for a tiger. I
wow.
mean,
Yeah.
in the wild they wouldn't be alive still. Like
Right.
they once they can't, like some other tiger will come along, and if they can't fight them or whatever
Yeah.
else, because they're more solitary animals once they get big. They, unless it comes to like breeding or whatever,
Yeah.
but they have to be able to be fast to catch prey and hunt, and they also have to be able to fend off other large animals. So yeah, it's only really in captivity that they live to be in, really up into double digits, let
Yeah.
alone up to 20.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, it is come to that time, and we are going to have to get off here.
All
So,
right.
thank you so very much, Dakota, for coming on and sharing
Thank
your
you for
story.
having me.
I really appreciate it. Kevin appreciates it.
Yes, and we'll be in touch about that road trip.
Yes, we'll definitely be in touch with that road trip.
We can make it a new thing.
Oh,
and Jason said,
we just talked to Jason, and Jason said he would be more than happy to talk to you about the books that he has gotten written and published.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I would appreciate that. Like I said, I always like to get the information on anything I'm doing like that. Try to forefront, get as much information as I can. So, whether it's the actual writing or doing the process of all the, publishing type stuff and whatnot that you go through, that helps you know the ins and outs of that.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No problem. So you have a good night, and we will be in touch.
Thanks for being the first saga.
Yeah, thank you for the saga.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on here to do it.
All right, I'll talk to you in a second. Don't go nowhere.
All right.
So, babe, your hair looks awesome. Let's show it off a little bit. Turn this way. See this, guys? So, we went to Fat Donnie's here in Branson, which is where I've been. Actually, Fat Donnie's is the place that switched me from salons to barbers. I was the typical gay boy, and I was like, you know what? I'm only going to go to a salon because they know how to fix hair, and this is even when I had short hair. Well, went to Fat Donnie's one time, and I got the hot towel treatment. I got the straight razor.
Barber college is no joke, man. Barber college is no
Take
joke.
it in, everybody. Take it in. Because, let me show you.
They do.
This right here. Whoop. All this. Natural. Will it be there very much longer? No. So, take it in.
Anyways, they do the hot towel treatment. They do the straight razor on your neck. They clean you up real nice. I didn't get my beard cleaned up. I actually got it trimmed too.
He got like a trim.
And got my neck cleaned up. But Zach, the hair guy, did Mr. T. Roy's. When I sat down,
Mr.
When
Zach.
he sat down, I told him what I wanted because I've been telling Mr. T. Roy what I wanted over here. And I'm the one that picked out this hairdo. And his face is like, and I was like, just trust me. And anyways, exactly, just like that.
Big eyeballs just poking out there like whoop.
And when Zach started showing us pictures of something that he's done, kind of like what I was talking about, and then when he was done, I mean, look at it.
Yeah, I like the whole back of it because I've had mohawks in the past, and this is the first time that it actually comes down into a V. So I love that. So thank you, Zach. Till next time, bro.
So go check out Fat Donnie's. Fat Donnie's,
Branson, Missouri.
Too.
Yeah, even if you gotta fly in,
there.
I mean, he don't care. Shoot, it's a walk-in, so go on in there.
Old school barber.
Oh, just go barber shop. Fat Donnie's. So, stay tuned for next Thursday. Of course, it's going to be an awesome one. And, I mean, it's going to be absolutely fabulous. Because it's everything yet nothing. And also, if you like watching this show and you love me, check me out on T-Roy TV. And we will also be having our merchandise pretty soon. So keep your eye out for Everything Yet Nothing. So be a rainbow.
You can get Everything Yet Nothing merchandise on WLFE-DB.com.
Yes, WLFE-DB.com.
You can also check us out on the LGBTQ Friends television on stream.
And on WLFE-DB.com merchandise, they have like baby clothes and hoodies and hats and masks and all everything. And it's in all kinds of colors. So you got to definitely check it out. And they also have other stuff from other shows on the network. There are other shows. Beautiful, awesome shows like Spooky. Oh my God.
They have everything from paranormal
everything.
to drag queens.
Yes. Oh, and you can also check us out on LGBTQ Friends Television on
Stream.
What about
That's
WLFE? You didn't say
We've already
that.
plugged WLFE.
I don't care. But we need to plug the sucker. WLFE.
Anyways, guys, have a wonderful.
.com. I love saying it now because it took me forever to learn it. I was like, yeah. So, anyways, have a good night. Peace and love. Be a rainbow, and please, please, please help somebody else be a rainbow too. Have a good night. Bye.
Banners.
Thank you for joining T. Roy and a special guest here on Everythin Yet Nothin. Tune in next Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central for another episode you won't want to miss. Until next time, be a rainbow in someone's life. Like and follow us on Facebook at WLFE DB Radio.
Oh, bye.